Hello YouTube, welcome to Flatlander. Today I'm going to be talking about our 2019 Polaris Ranger 1000 XP Crew. We've owned it for a few months now. Got about 195 miles on it, so I feel like we've got enough time behind the wheel to have some opinions about some things and tell you how we like it. This is not the HVAC version, so we did add the cab, the poly roof, the front and rear glass. The front glass is tip out. I'll show you how that works. We added all of the accessories except that you'll see today, except for the heater. I had Polaris, the local Polaris dealership, install that, same place we bought the machine from. I wanted them to install it because it ties into the coolant system. I didn't want to create any warranty issues in the future, so just wanted them to do it for that reason. So we'll start in the front. I do have the front mounted receiver, and that's a Polaris part. That is an add-on. Goes on with 4 bolts, very easy installation. I wanted that to put a shackle on like this, one for recovery and 2 for tying it down when trailering. I just don't like to put straps over painted surfaces or put any metal hooks over painted surfaces. The headlights, I think they point up a little bit too high. I might have to aim those. It's just the original factory bulbs, so I'm gonna maybe change those to LED bulbs too. In some of the videos I've watched, they do make a big improvement, people say. So for about a $40 investment, it might be worth it. And then the front doors on this are power. Went with that option. I just had some mixed reviews on the manual door being kind of hard to reach, hard to use. The power window on this side does go up a little bit hard. I'm going to show that to the Polaris dealer. I've already talked to them about it. The other side is the bigger issue. Works a lot harder to go down or up. But it is going to be a really nice feature. I'm still glad that we did that. This is the blinker kit. It's a Ryko Moto blinker kit. Roy out of Utah sells this kit. I bought this at a different Polaris dealership in Mandan, North Dakota. Comes with this bracket. That was one big difference on this as opposed to other blinker kits. That bracket versus just a pipe clamp that goes around the steering column. I like that bracket, gives it a much more clean look. Plus, the blinker switch is black, just kind of blends into the machine a lot better than the big chrome ones that some of them have. The speaker there, that's our solution for the radio at this time. We just Bluetooth and stream local radio or whatever we want through that speaker. I do plan on mounting that somewhere up on the roof, probably on that crossbar with some sort of removable system so I can charge it and take it down when I need to. The mirror is pretty good. This is a Polaris rear view mirror, and it's a little bit convex, maybe a little bit more than is necessary. It does show you the rear passengers better than anything else. It's going to be great for close quarters on trails, but if you're going to be driving on the highway, you're probably going to want some side mirrors. I bought some side mirrors. I think I have a solution to that because nobody seems to make side mirrors for Polaris Ranger with doors. This is how the front windshield tips out. Doesn't seem to have much play there. It's pretty tight. So it tips out with those gas struts. We did have some issues with some snow. Actually, when the glass was down or driving through snow drifts, snow flying up onto the windshield would come in right here when it was first installed. So I just bought some truck topper liner and put that in there, the weather stripping, and that really sealed everything up nice. I also brought it down on the sides and kind of tapered the edge. Let's see, there we go. Kind of tapered the edge a little bit, and we've tested it out. Doesn't seem to let in any water at all. The snow doesn't come in. Can't feel any cool air when we're driving down the road coming through there. So that really worked out nice. Nice easy fix for that. Going to the back here. Well, let me show you the storage up front. So the driver's storage under the driver's seat, there's a little handle back here that you just lift up with your fingers and pull up, and gives you a bunch of storage down here. So it goes way down. I'm reaching all the way down, fingers extended all the way up to my elbow. So pretty deep. Probably put some recovery tools in there, things that I don't plan on needing very often, but want easy access to. The other side just flips up. Oh, there's another issue too. I forgot about that. It will not flip up with this passenger door closed. So you need to open the door, and then it'll just flip up. Gives you access to that storage cubby right there. And the pass-through floor underneath the seat is really nice. I think we'll use that quite a bit. In the rear, like I said, the windows are manual roll down here. They do roll down nice and solid. All these doors are very heavy. I think I've heard they weigh 80 pounds. I believe it. When installing them, they were pretty heavy, but feel very solid. Just really like a truck door. The rear glass just cams on and off, walk and ride, so that can pop in and out real easy. One of the easiest things you can install on these. The difference on the passenger, the rear passenger seat over here is, it's not a lever, it's a metal pin that goes into a hole, rubber hole down there. The seat does rattle a little bit. You can feel it rattle when you move it around, but you don't notice it when you're driving around. So that's nothing you can hear rattling around on rough roads. There's the liner, the soundproofing. That's all it is. It fit really nice. It does take some time to install that. You do have to take the seat back off and slide it in there, and then get the seat back in there. So the box, really nice. We did buy the Polaris bed liner for it. The bed liner does not have holes for the 4 tie downs in the corners. So you either have to cut holes in there or just put the bolts through the bed liner and reinstall those tie downs. I think for me, I want the bed liner easily removable. I don't really want to cut holes in it like that. I might just take those tie downs out. Got some other tie downs for the lock and ride system on the side of the box, so I think that might be enough for me. I'll hang on to those tie downs in case I decide I need those. Here is the rear shackle. Really like those shackles. I'll put links to all the accessories and everything in my videos down below the video. So if you have any questions on those, just let me know though. Those shackles, again, just for recovery, don't seem to rattle around at all. I'm really happy. I thought I might have to tie those up, wire those up, or bungee those into place so they wouldn't rattle, but haven't needed to do that. Box tips up really nice. I did silicone right here. That's where this rubber pad comes down to meet the frame, and then that hook where it latches, there's one on each side. I silicone that, just some silicone spray, and silicone that catch right there. It seems to make it work smoother. We did have a pretty high-pitched rattle that seemed to come from that corner, the passenger front of the box. we'll see if that silicone spray takes care of it. I think that it will. I did go with the poly roof. I was torn between the poly and the steel. The difference for me was I was able to see several examples of the poly roof and couldn't see one example of the steel crew roof. So I went with the poly. I guess it does save some weight, and it might make the cab a little bit quieter inside, especially during rain, I suppose. So other things that we plan on doing for this build, like I said, the blinker kit is Rykomoto. It's not quite fully installed yet. The rear blinkers work. It's all plug and play that way. It does come with the typical round LEDs. I'll show them to you in here. They're lit up. The round LEDs that you have to drill holes for in the front somewhere. So I just have them wrapped around the intake right now, just secured there until I come up with a different light. Now Roy at Rykomoto out of Utah, my coolant's a little bit low. I got to add a little bit of coolant too. But Roy at Rykomoto, he's helping me out. He's going to get me some Phoenix strobe lights wired in to the system, nice and clean, so I can mount those to the front so I don't have to drill those big holes in the front. I think they'll be brighter and more noticeable, so that's nice for safety too. So other plans for this build I have, well, here's the bed liner from Polaris. It's I was hoping it was more of a sticky material, maybe a little bit softer. I don't know if I can line that with something. But just so things wouldn't slide around in there. I think it will work a little bit for that, and it'll also kind of take some of the beating. My machine that I replaced with this Ranger had a steel box with a spray-in bed liner. It was a John Deere Gator. You didn't have to worry about throwing anything in there, scratching things up. This plastic box, I just don't want to throw anything sharp in it and gouge it right away. Maybe I'll feel differently when it's not so new. The tires right now are Maxxis, and they're 27 by 9 up front and 27 by 11 in the rear on 12-inch wheels. So I knew I wanted to go with bigger tires. I did a lot of searching. I was going to go with some Maxxis Liberty. They're like a truck all-terrain tire style. A lot of what we do as far as the driving we plan on doing is on the road or in our yard with some trail riding mixed in there. But this is a pretty big machine for the trails around here. So I do need clearance though. We do drive through snow. So I bought these Super ATV 32 by 10 by 14. Super ATV, and these are the RTs. They have the RT, the Warrior RT and the Warrior AT. I went with the RTs. They're a little more aggressive. I don't think they'll be too aggressive for the turf around here. The Ranger does have turf mode. So it does have an open differential when you want to in the rear, so that's nice, so it won't tear up the turf so much. So I plan on installing these to make those fit. I've got a 3-inch bracket lift from High Lifter. And so I'll have a video on this. It looks pretty simple. I've seen some videos on how to install it. So I'll either do an install video or at least a review video afterwards. The other thing that I have are these mirrors that are from Seismic. Going to be mounting these to the side of the machine. So I'll show you how these are going to be working. There is a steel bar that goes through the door right about there. You can see it if you remove that colored panel off of the door. And then I might just bolt these right to the door. I've seen it done. There's a dealership here near us that does it often, and they've had some really good success with it. So These are not the mirrors that they use. These mirrors stand out a little bit further, so it's easier to see the mirrors from inside. So I think that's going to work pretty good. These are seismic mirrors for a Ranger 900. And they just bolt onto the roll cage normally, but they're not for, not if you have doors installed. They're not compatible with doors. So just kind of making something work here. I haven't been able to find any manufacturers that make mirrors for the Ranger with doors. This here is an auger mount. So this mounts to the Fairlead location right here on the front of the machine, and that's where my ice auger is going to be mounted. So I'll show a little video on that. I've also got the rock sliders, Polaris rock sliders there. Be putting that on. This here is the Ranger trailerable cover for the crew. So I like to cover it because we do have some road salt around here for winter driving. I don't like to get that road salt on the machines. That's the only reason these rust at all. So got an 09 Polaris Sportsman that I've been pretty careful with and doesn't have a lot of rust like some of the used machines you see for sale or see driving around. So if you have any ideas, or if you need some more explanation on anything, just let me know. Just write a comment below. Otherwise, look for future videos on this build. Thanks for watching.